I will be there. All right, well, artificial intelligence is changing how we work, parent, and connect, but it's also raising a big question. How do we stay human when technology is literally everywhere? Joining us today is entrepreneur and author Jeff Birmingham. His new book is called The Latest Book, or The Last Book, written by a human, and explores how we can navigate the age of AI with wisdom, empathy, and intention. And of course, without the fear of tech overload, right? Jeff, welcome to the show. So happy to have you here.
Bree, it's good to be with you.
So, Jeff, you wrote this book. It's called The Last Book Written by a Human. That's a pretty bold title. Why did you decide to call it that?
Yeah, I think two reasons. Number one, this book was written with full human heart and attention. It's a very personal and vulnerable story, and it was written by a human, by myself, except the foreword actually was written by ChatGPT, but the rest of it was very human. And I hope that we stay that way in the arts and our writing, etc. Secondly, real quick, if I was dropped onto the earth in early 2026, I'm a 48-year-old guy, and everything was happening so quickly. There's so much division, et cetera, and AI is coming onto the scene. What would I want to read? I want to read the last book written by a human so that I could get a context for what's happening here on Earth, where we can go, and how we can ensure that AI is focused on human flourishing and not human division.
So let's say we do get to that point. We get to the point where, AI is everywhere, technology is everywhere. We have this advanced technology that's kind of leading our lives. And we get to that point and we come across this book, the last book written by a human. How do you think that's going to center things a bit?
Yeah, this book is really focused on human nature. See, I don't think that AI is a technological problem. We are surrounded by digital media everywhere we go. You know that, Brie. You live in that world.
Hmm.
This is a human problem. It's about how we come back to ourselves and how we remember who we are and what reality really is. I think that the book captures the message for 2026, which is simply stated as our machines become more and more intelligent, which they are. We can't stop them. That is what's happening. As they become more intelligent, we as humans must become more wise.
So when we think about what AI is and what it does, you said you embrace it. I partially embrace it as well. I mean, I know a lot of people here at Fox 2 do embrace AI and figure out ways to incorporate it into their lives. But I mean, what do you think people are scared of when it comes to this?
Yeah, I talk about AI in the book and I do embrace it just because what's the alternative, Bree? Like you just said, like we could put our heads in the sand, we could pretend that like AI isn't happening, but it is happening. This is what's coming. More and more intelligent, powerful technology is coming into our lives, into the lives of the people we love. And I talk about AI as a cosmic mirror in the book. So if you think of what AI is, it takes all of human recorded data and then how we interact with it, and it provides a reflection. And a reflection can be a scary thing, Brie, especially if we don't like everything that we see. So that's why I think there's trepidation around what AI is because it's providing a reflection for individual users of it, but also for humanity as a whole. Let me just say that reflection can also be a powerful motivation to change and to transform. And I think that's what AI is calling us towards is human transformation and evolution.
But I think, Jeff, I think that it could be a little overwhelming for some. There's a lot happening, and there's so many different things that you can do with AI alone, not even just the other advanced technology around us, VR and whatnot. When it comes to AI, it's so overwhelming. But how do you think that we can kind of take a step back and really digest what's happening right now when it comes to artificial intelligence?
Yeah, I've been an adjunct professor to thousands of entrepreneurial students at the university down the street from me, BYU. I'm in Utah. And one of the things that I have often said to them is that the most powerful ideas are often the most simple and therefore the most neglected. And so, but let me share two of those with you real quickly. One of which is to remember that we are human beings, not human doings. So while we feel sped up by the pace of life, by the pace of technology, by AI itself, we need to take a second to pause, to reflect, to come back to ourselves and to be. This is a critical step in the age of AI because as our machines become better and better at a lot of the doing we're used to, we are just left with our being. Secondly, really quickly, we need to make sure that we stay in real human relationship. We need
Hmm.
to lean into the beauty and messiness of what it means to be human. We need to embrace that. So we need to go out to the clubs, to the churches, to the things that we love, and we need to be with people. Especially, I'm a father of
The
four, Bree.
churches and
We
the
need to
clubs.
remind our, yeah, whatever. Don't those coexist in Detroit together, the churches and the clubs? I mean, like whatever we're
What you trying to say,
interested
Jeff?
in. Whatever we're interested in, we need to lean into that wherever there are real people. And we need to model that for our children. I'm a father of four, so I'm thinking a lot about this in the lens of my kids.
You know what, Jeff? I'm actually really happy that we're driving all of this back to just being human. Because there are some
Yeah.
human qualities that AI just can't replicate, they can't replace. Why do you think that matters so much right now?
Yeah, Bree, anytime we're with another human being like we are right now, we're on sacred ground and we come from different places. We have different backgrounds, but that doesn't matter. We always share more in common when we're with another human than we do different. Now, the almighty algorithm of social media and of AI would have you not have us forget that. It would focus on division. But the truth is that we always share more in common than not. AI hasn't felt pain like you and I have. It can't love like we can. It's in these real human, intimate interactions, relationships, again, the beautiful mess. That's where we transform. That's where we come back to ourselves. We can't
Hmm.
forget this is what matters in the age of AI. Like we've got to hold on to that. That's what the last book written by a human. That's why I wrote it. It was meant to
Yeah.
be a conversation starter and yeah, that conversation
Mm-hmm.
continues. I'm on social media at Jeff Birmingham everywhere, and there's comments just flying around. I think this is a conversation people are ready to have in the year 2026.
Oh, I think yes, 1000%. I think that people have been ready to have this conversation because it's being thrown in our face. Every time you get on Google, they're advertising their Google AI tool, and it's just everywhere. So at this point, like you said, it's something that we need to embrace, and we need to approach it from a humanistic standpoint. Realize that
Correct.
take it one step at a time. So
Yeah.
I just gotta ask though, what's one like really cool way that you found that we can use AI?
I love that question because there are great ways. One of the most important parts of AI, again, there's so much good that can happen from AI. I'm a believer that talent is pretty evenly distributed, let's say across the world, but that opportunity is not. But when you think of children in places where maybe education isn't as great as in others, yet they have one of the smartest tutors or the best tutor, let's say, in their pocket at all times. They can learn. If they're proactive, they can learn a lot from AI. So, again, I don't think this is something we should be afraid of. I think it should be a bridge to human connection. And I think it can be a bridge to learning. We can't outsource our thinking to the machine. That is not a good plan. We can't
Yeah.
have our students like doing all their work in the machine, but it can certainly be a leveler of opportunity in an era where educational opportunities aren't evenly distributed. So that's one way that I think it could be really good and helpful.
Yeah, Jeff, and I'm so happy you said that. We cannot outsource our thinking, right? That all still happens in here. AI is a tool
Yeah.
to help you map things out a little bit, but it's not going to replace your thinking. I love that you said that. Jeff, thank you so much.
Bree, it's great to be with you today.